What's up, guys? Another real estate tip for you guys, because there's one guy who commented dun sa house flipping tips natin, dun sa recent video natin. So shout out to Reedman420, and he commented, can you do a top 10 list in areas you would fix and flip / rent in Winnipeg? And also, what are the most common permits you get when fixing a home, and how many do you have at a time? Great question. There's a couple more, so let me answer it first. What is the top 10 list in areas you would fix and flip / rent in Winnipeg? So top 10 list is number 1, St. James area, West Kildonan, East Kildonan, North Kildonan, Charleswood, Westwood, St. Vital, St. Norbert, Fort Rouge, St. Boniface. There's a lot of areas that I like to flip and hold for rentals. Those are the main areas that I like to do. So hopefully that answered those 10 list or 10 areas. And then he said, what are the most common permits when I'm fixing a house? So common permits are electrical and plumbing. Now, it depends on the house. If you're adding new pot lights, you're adding new switch, those ones you have to pull permits for those electrical. And then also if you're adding a bathroom in the basement, then you have to pull permits. Normally, if there's already an existing light and you're just changing the light fixture, you don't have to pull permits. And then also, if you're removing a structural wall, for example, you bought a house and you want to make it an open concept, and if you're gonna take the wall down, then you have to do a permit. One more thing, if the basement is unfinished, especially if you check the property assessment website and the property that you're going to be working on is not finished, it says unfinished on the website, then you have to pull permits for that. The city will crack you down, and if they find out that you finished the basement without any permits, then you're going to be in trouble. Okay? And how many do you do at a time? For me, that's very subjective to your preference. For me, I don't like doing 4 at a time or even 3 at a time. The most I would do at a time to lessen the stress, 2 flips at a time is what I would do. Max I would do is 3 flips or 3 projects at a time, because I hate the stress that involves with the flip, because sometimes things are slower, and then sometimes there are uncertain things when you start working on a property that you might not know about. So I just hate that part. And also I hate the fact that the market could change in an instant. Next month the market could drop, the interest rate could go up, and it could go down. So there's so much things that you have to consider when you flipping a property, and I just don't like taking too much risk and stretching myself way too much, and that's how people lose a lot of money in real estate, by leveraging themselves too much. Another question here, he said, super trim video, please post more insight. This is what I'm trying to do, guys. That's why I want you guys to keep commenting and ask me questions about real estate and the business that I'm in. I'm an open book. I will share it to you guys. So I also thought over renovating even north end areas would still be profitable, because the demographic is really starting to change into more immigrant living area who could be looking for a nicer home. You are right. However, there are specific part of the north end that are still considered as not great area. For example, Arlington going to Main Street is a no-no for me. If I were to buy a property in that area, for example, Arlington going to Maine, and then Mountain going down to Flora, that area, I kind of stay away from that area. I would assign deals in that area, and I would only buy properties in that area if it's closer to land value. Because if I get it for land value or closer to land value, now I have an exit strategy, whether if I want to put more money into the property and then resell it, or buy it and then just list it back in the market. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how nice your property or how nice you do your property. What matters is how much profit can you make out of them, right? You know what they said, you make money on the buy. So people sometimes misunderstand that, because they think, even they misunderstand that because sometimes they think, okay, I would put in $80,000 for this property, I will make it so nice and I know I'm gonna make X. But at the end of the day, if you buy it wrong, that's it. The deal is 80% is going to fail. So every deal that I do, I already know from the buy, if I buy it right, I'm gonna make money. I have to make money. If I buy it wrong, then I'm stressing and already thinking, okay, how much money I'm going to lose on this deal. So buy it right. You gotta have to buy it right to make money. Just from the buy, you should know that you're already making money. And then he said, do you usually get bidding wars on your fix and flips? Yes, that is the goal all the time, to get bidding wars on our flips. Obviously, sometimes or most of the times you will not get that, especially if you're gonna price it wrong. If you want your property to have bidding wars all the time, you have to list it aggressively, which means you have to list it way below the market value. For example, if the market value of the property that you're listing in the market is $450, you have to list that property for $399 instead of $450, because you want to attract buyers in your property. Then that's the risk you're going to take, because now if it only sells for $430 or $420, then that's the risk you took. But if it sells for $460, $470, because you have so much buyer that went and look at the house, then that's the plus, right? That's your bonus. But if it sells for less than $450, then that's kind of the risk that you took, right? It's like gambling. So that's why flipping is very stressful, but it's very rewarding if you do it properly. So I hope that answered your question. Please keep commenting, keep asking me questions. Like I said, I'm an open book. I will share everything that I can to you guys. I hope that answered your question. And if you have more questions, don't hesitate to comment down below. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.